I'm the type of gamer that likes to play the game and watch the cutscenes, but not really read any files, or notes, or really look up any lore for that matter. So I had the brilliant idea to talk about the game's story from yours truly, from my point of view, because I pretty much have all the qualifications, am I right? I mean, I got the game, I beat it multiple times, and I have a YouTube channel. So here I am bringing you Resident Evil 8 Explained. Here we are with another Resident Evil video, and if you haven't seen my Resident Evil 7 Poorly Explained, be sure to check that out first, since this game picks up a few years after the events of 7, with Mia and Ethan still being the main characters. We start the game with one of the coolest intros ever. I seriously love when games have art styles like this. It kind of reminds me of Coraline, but this story basically talks about how this girl went with her mom to get berries for her dad. There weren't any berries in their location, so what does the daughter do? Runs away. Literally doesn't even wait for mom or anything, just poof, takes off alone. The daughter runs into a giant ass bat, and the bat offers her some of its blood, and the daughter is just kind of like, fuck it, down the hatch and drinks it.
Here's to love, here's to honor. If you can't come in her, come on her. Amen.
Weird, but okay. So she moves on and then runs into a weaver, and it gives her a dress, and then she leaves. Then she runs into a giant ass fish, and this fish gives her a fin to eat. Once again, another weird ass gift, but she accepts it. She then runs into an iron horse, and she takes the gear that's on its head, and the horse is all like, hold on you spoiled little bitch, that wasn't a present. The horse summons the other monsters, and I guess they're all stupid or something because they forget who she is, and they're all like, hey, we didn't give her any presents either. And then they're all about to jump her, but they fuse together into a toucan Sam beak having ass witch. And that is where the story ends. Well, I mean, kind of. We see Mia reading to a random baby. Whose baby, you may ask? I don't know, not mine. And then the story ends with the witch trapping the little girl in a mirror. Ethan is like, bruh, chill with the horror stories, damn. But Mia doesn't see the harm in telling a scary story to an infant. Kind of like my dad when he had me watch 13 Ghosts as a child. I swear to God, that movie terrified the ever-living shit out of me, dude. That was scary. Then Mia snaps when Ethan brings up the word remember.
Remember?
There's nothing wrong with my memory.
It kind of sounds like the couple never really talked about the events of 7, and they both kind of buried it deep down. In a super healthy way, obviously.
What do we do with our feelings?
We hide them in our muscles.
And how do we hide our feelings better?
We get bigger muscles.
We get big.
So I guess this child is actually ours, and her name is Rose. So we go up and put her to sleep, but before I do, I gotta show Rose that her dad is athletic as fuck. So I show her my sweet ass soccer skills.
He literally just has to kick it anywhere except where Sterling is sitting.
There is no possible way that North Carolina can mess up this shot.
No!
We put Rose down in the crib, and then we go and have dinner with Mia. Ethan says,
It's just finding you in Louisiana, the pregnancy, Chris moving us here, military training, it all happened so fast, you know?
and he wants to talk about what happened in Resident Evil 7, but Mia wants to forget about it and then just kind of gets shot?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
No, for real, look at her reaction. She literally looks like, Ethan, did I just get shot? Lights go off, and then Mia gets the whole fucking clip.
Survive!
Then in comes Chris Redfield, and he puts like 4 more shots into Mia, although I don't know how she was still alive after being turned into Swiss cheese. Chris takes Rose, and Ethan tries to fight him, but Chris says,
Ethan, no.
and Ethan's all like, yeah, okay, daddy, you're right, I'm sorry. We get knocked out and taken by Chris's team, and then we get a flashback. It kind of hints at the fact that Ethan is so worried about baby Rose that he doesn't really talk about anything else, because it kind of sounds like Mia wants to talk about them too.
We talked about this.
I know. We hardly talk about anything else. I keep telling you, it's not Rose that I'm worried about.
Well, then what are you worried about? Look, she's gonna be fine. I just know it. What else matters?
We matter, Ethan! You matter! You just
Mia, what are you talking about?
What?
Like, take the fucking hint, Ethan, Jesus. She's worried about us and we just kind of ignore her. Ethan may be a good dad, but he is a terrible husband, I'll tell you that much. But it also makes me wonder because this Mia actually wants to talk about the past, whereas the scary story reading Mia that we got at the beginning doesn't want to talk about the past. We wake up, answer the ringing phone, and it's just some bigwig yelling at us for answering. So we call him a bitch and we hang up.
I will call my mama. That's beautiful, man. Call my mama a bitch. Then I hang up on my mama. Hang up on my mama.
We gather ourselves and it looks like the vehicle flipped over or something, but then again, I don't know what road they were following. There is no road out here. But we walk forward and we see some dead crows like in number 7. And then we see something running away from us in the distance, once again, kind of like Jack did in 7, and we eventually get to a little cabin. But nothing really happens here. Actually, nothing really happens at all for the next like 15 minutes. It's just us walking around and entering areas while hearing spooky sounds.
Is there a spooky ghost here?
So I'm going to skip a lot of this beginning part. We leave the cabin, keep going, it's daytime all of a sudden, and then we see a castle in the background. We start making our way towards the castle, which I'm not too sure why. I guess we think that Chris and his team are there, which, you know, knowing Chris is probably true. But we enter the village just outside of the castle and then we run into Old Man Jenkins here. He's panicking. So we tell him to calm down and to tell us what's going on, just for him to get pulled through the roof and then we get pulled through the floor. I don't really know how or why, but there are a bunch of dead bodies beneath this man's house. So I don't know, maybe whatever killed the old man actually did the village a favor because it kind of looks like this man was stockpiling bodies.
So it doesn't matter what my crime is then?
Not really.
No, be real.
No, because I love you.
What would be the thing?
Like if you Jeffrey Dahmer, like if you fucking like raped and ate people. Then I'd be like, Bobby, come on.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Hungry.
All right.
We see something that doesn't look dead in the distance, and then we get a little bit closer. And then we get bit by a werewolf. Very interesting. So we go from zombies to mold to werewolves. But we kill the werewolf and then get into a sticky little situation here where all of the werewolves are narrowing in on us. But they don't know that I've beaten this game maybe 5 or 6 times, or dare I say 6 or 7 times. So I'm stocked the fuck up and I'm kind of handling business right now until a hammer carrying Hagrid comes out. But I want this smoke, so I start shooting at him. But then a cutscene takes place saving his life, not mine. I was in total control. And it must be the werewolf's lucky day because I was about to kill all of them. I just wanted to point out that the werewolves are riding horses and I don't think I've ever seen a werewolf ride a horse. But then Hagrid comes in and is about to give us his hammer, but then just takes off and they all leave.
Yeah, that's right. Run away, bitches!
I run into an old lady, and if it's like 7, we don't trust old ladies. But she says that Rose is in danger, and then just leaves. So we find one piece to the door that we need to enter the castle, and then we go look for the second piece. This leads us to a girl and her father who's not looking too well. And I don't really know how to explain this, but they're outside of a building that they want to be inside of. I'm not too sure why they're outside in the first place, but they want to be inside this gated house. I find a way into the fenced area, so I let them in, and then we go into the house, but we're greeted by some resistance to say the least. Long story short, they were a normal village, but everything changed when the werewolf nation attacked. This is the last of the villagers and they don't trust me, like obviously no shit, but no one keeps eyes on the dad and then he turns into a werewolf. Dude starts killing everyone that's left of the village since, you know, they're all conveniently placed in one room. The daughter survives with us and the place just catches on fire, just woof. So we climb up to the attic with the daughter. Somehow the dad survived the multiple shotgun blasts that the daughter gave him, and I guess the dad is starting to whisper some like human language. I don't really know, like he's actually like still there, you know, I don't know. But the daughter is an idiot and hears this and decides to go to her father. And then the floor collapses, so now the whole village is dead, and we escape out the window.
This really was a win some, lose some scenario.
And then we find the second piece to the door that we need. We see the old lady again, and this time I'm like, think fast, bitch. So I throw a pipe bomb at her.
Nani?
I swear this bitch is not real. We put the second piece in the door and then we go to the castle and we run into Magneto here. He stabs us and put us into a metal cocoon of sorts, and then he drags us to I have no idea where. But when we're released, we see the Council of Psychopaths starting with a doll, Quasimodo, Magneto, a giant lady, and a crow lady in the back. I'm sitting here thinking,
You're all ugly, I make money.
It seems like the crow lady's name is Mother Miranda, and she's the head honcho of these parts. She tells them that Magneto can decide our fate, but the giant lady wants me badly enough to put up a fight for me. Aw, thank you, I love being wanted. Miranda says nay, so Magneto has a bunch of werewolves come at us, but he decides to count down their attack for some reason, and this gives us enough time to find an escape down a hole. We follow the path being chased by werewolves, and I need to slow down a bit right here because when we enter this dungeon looking area, you see this roof and the spikes that are attached to said roof and how it's coming down on us? Well, I find the exit pretty quickly, right? Actually, it might be a little bit too quickly because I leave the room, but then I sit in the passageway wanting to see if the roof collapses for some reason until I back up just a little bit, and to my surprise, another roof trap falls right in front of my face.
Oh, my face! Oh, say less.
So I turn around, look up, and sure as shit, there are more roof traps that I basically just sat there and almost let them squish me. I did not know that was happening. All because of my own stupidity. We narrowly escape, and then I enter the next area with a spinning wheel death trap. I hide in this little hidey spot and once again narrowly escape a blender-like death.
Easy squeezy. Whoa. Could have died.
Ethan is all like,
do those freaks have Rose?
Gee, Ethan, I kind of forgot to ask while we were getting chased by werewolves. But you know, you're right. I guess I could have asked when we almost got squished by the roof traps. Or maybe I could have asked when the spike wheel of death was about to turn us into an Ethan smoothie. Stupid ass, I don't fucking know. We see this man outside of the castle and the dude looks like 600-pound life, but he acts like the merchant in Resident Evil 4. Nothing else to mention here because I'm already loaded up. We enter the castle, go to this door, and then we enter a cutscene that I can only describe as one of my fantasies, to be honest. The hot bee triplets take us to the giant lady, and turns out she's a vampire. So I kind of interpret her as being the bats in the beginning story of the game, because you know, bats, vampires, blood, you pretty much have the perfect trinity to make Dracula. But instead, they made Dracula a giant 8-foot hot goth lady. She takes a free Costco sample of our blood and says that it's going stale. Okay, sorry that my blood doesn't satisfy your palate. I don't know if I should feel hurt by this or not. And you know, I hear a lot about the giant vampire lady and how hot she is, but nah, man, I'd rather have the smoking hot triplets any day. I'm out here trying to be like Tengen, man. I'm trying to have 3 smoking hot wives. Plus, with her oversized Shrek looking ass, she wouldn't even feel my pee-pee.
We were in action and she said in my ear, go deeper. Stay with me now. And what hurt me is I was already all the way in. So I had ran out of pee-pee.
And I don't know what you all are working with, but I know I'm not packing that type of heat.
In my fantasies, I'm a wild lover. In real life, my sexual prowess has been described as fine, adequate. It'll get the job done.
So I would rather stick with the 3 normal sized triplets. But anyways, they hang us up by our hands, kinky. Okay, great angle. I can almost see where you guys are coming from now. I almost take back what I just said. And then they leave for some reason. Oh shit, look at that. The last one is a freak. When they're all gone, we pull our hands off of the hooks, heal up, and then start to wander the castle. I'm probably going to do a speedrun of most of the castle because if I go through every detail, this video will be like 2 hours long. The castle is a huge chunk of this game. So here we go. We solve a puzzle, enter a dungeon, kill zombies, run into Bee-Sister number 1.
You're like a dream come true.
We find out that they know likey cold, so I get all up in her grill and I kill her, which makes me sad. But then I remember that it's okay because I still have twins. And yes, that is actually a lightsaber that I have. I do not know why this is a thing in this game, but it is. So I get to show off my sweet lightsaber skills right now, pretty much showing why I'm still a virgin. Grab a wine bottle, put the wine bottle right here, open a secret passage, grab the courtyard key, go to the courtyard, go into a side door, solve another puzzle, go into a flooded basement that has swimming zombies, or they could just be bodies that have been drained of all their blood, since, you know, vampires. We take the lift up the stairs and end up outside Lady Dimitrescu's room, and then she gets a call from Mother Miranda. She basically wants to kill us, mentions something about a ceremony, and then throws her mirror. But fuck all of that, bro. I get a sub. And you know it's party time when I get a sub in these videos.
Hey, look, Ma, I made it. Hey, look, Ma, I made it.
We find the key. Oh God. Yeah.
There.
She grabs us and slams us into the floor until it breaks. We once again find ourselves in this weird little basement area, and we go to pull this lever to open the door.
Like I'd let you get away.
So we have to put the moves on Lady Dimitrescu, grab our severed hand because shit, it's what I did in Resident Evil 7 and everything worked out fine there. We pull the lever, open the gate, get to this statue and grab its mask, which takes us up to the courtyard. But on the ride up, Ethan puts first aid on his severed arm. I swear to God, this man tries to pull a Deadpool and just tries to, reattach his severed hand.
There we go. No, that's not right. What the? Oh God, now it's upside down. There she is.
And it fucking works. Look, I'm no doctor, but I don't think that's how it's supposed to go. I mean, at least in 7 he got staples. This time he just got like some super glue liquid first aid. But anyways, I ignore this for now and we go into a side building. We play the piano, grab a key, use key on door, be sister number 2 fight in a library.
Just wanna be with you.
But thank God that this library has a sunroof just in case we wanted to work on our tan while we read. So we kill the second love of my life, we grab the mask, solve a puzzle, end up on the roof and kill some gargoyles. We shuck a bra down, grab our third mask, dance with Lady Dimitrescu like we're at prom. And then I play this little marble game, which I love. I swear to God, I will stop every single time to play these games. We put the 3 masks on the 4 statues, dance with Lady Dimitrescu again, go upstairs and fight the final Beast sister.
Girl, it's plain to see that you're the only one for me.
But there's no window, so I make one. I kill the last one, so with all the Beast sisters dead, I kind of don't see the point of life anymore.
Oh my God!
We grab the last mask and we make our way back to the statues.
I'm in district in the chain.
Dang! Who programmed this? Oh fuck, jig is up. I put the final mask on the statue and she swings at me. I run out of the front door into a church, I think. I mean, just how big is this castle, dude? We take the knife from the dead guy that's right here.
Well, he ain't getting any deader.
And then she grabs us, stabs us, so we stab back. She throws us like every other giant Resident Evil enemy. And then she transforms into a fucking Dwagon. The Dwagon grabs us and drops us on a walkway instead of just, dropping us 100 stories straight to the ground. So now we're dragon hunting.
Hang on, I almost caught the dragon.
You almost got me.
I can get him. Wait, where's he going now?
You don't ever catch the dragon, Dad.
This boss fight is basically just us shooting at the weak point on the dragon's back. Once we put enough damage into her, she chases us up a staircase, which is weird because she could just, fly into the staircase and kill us. But whatever. I put more bullets into her and then we start the free fall. And I'm not sure how she died, but we didn't. But hey man, I'm not here to answer every question, am I right?
Man, so many unanswered questions.
So we grab this vial thing, I don't really know what it is, and we escape the castle for good. We meet up with the old timer, that way we can work on getting our spend time with the elderly Boy Scout badge.
Good afternoon. My name is Russell, and I am a wilderness explorer in Tribe 54.
And she tells us that,
how can a man be almost dead? That's a question for the wise.
Sounds more like a question for the stupid. You could be almost dead. Like how you can be almost asleep. Or how you can almost be a burden to my existence, you stupid ass dementia having hag. I swear to God, I have a deep mistrust for old people in horror games. She doesn't really tell us much of anything else and then she leaves. We grab a key, see this carving on the wall, but ignore it because art is pain and pain is art.
Do you even know my trauma?
Yeah, it's like mine, but less.
Oh, he's so disturbed.
His plight makes me more compelled by his art.
I'm literally so much more traumatized than you.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
No, I'm so damaged.
Oh yeah, well my cat got sick once and it was really scary.
Well, my grandma died.
It was before I was born, but she died.
And then we head out. I find a pedestal that looks a lot like the damn umbrella logo, but we can't really do anything with it just yet, so we carry on until we get a little cutscene with the merchant. And I don't really know how this guy gets around or, sets up shop, because I swear to God, it looks like he could barely roll out of bed without running out of breath. Like old people, I just don't trust this merchant for some reason. But that's besides the point. He says that the vial we have is part of Rose. So, Mother Miranda cut up our baby! But I have to pause here because 1, a baby's head is not fitting into this vial. This vial is too damn small. And 2, I could fill a vial with water and boba and slap a little sticker on it saying Rosemary's head. How do we really know her head is in there? Anywho, the merchant tells us that Rose's essence is still intact and that her powers are like totes crazy. Pause again because 3, how does the merchant know this?
This is too big a mystery for me. I think we better call in the Hardley boys.
Anywho, he then tells us to go to a house with a red roof. So we make our way, but there's a tractor in our path, right? And instead of just, climbing over this thing, we choose to make our lives harder. So we go look for a code.
Nah, probably.
Use that code on a lock to get a jack handle. And then we use the jack handle to lift up the tractor so we could crawl underneath it because I swear to God, Ethan just wants to get squished. I mean, judging from the beginning where the roof almost ended up squishing us and now this, which I remind you could have been avoided by climbing over the tractor. Put 1 foot on this tire, please, Ethan. But I don't know, maybe Ethan just wants to get squished. We eventually get to the house and find this key and we combine it with our key and then we head back to the area with the merchant. He tells us that there are 4 parts to Rose, right? 1 for each lord. Lady Dimitrescu, the doll maker Donna Beneviento, Moreau the fish monster, and Heisenberg aka Magneto. And I think this goes back to the storybook Mia was reading to Rose. Like I said earlier, I think that the bat in the story is Lady Dimitrescu, the weaver is the doll lady because both use strings to control shit, I think. The fish monster is Moreau because he's literally a fish monster, shouldn't really need too much convincing on that one. And then the iron horse is Heisenberg because he can control metal. And the witch that they all fused into must be Mother Miranda, which is kind of cool, man. I like it. I also forgot to mention that the merchant's name is Duke. So Dookie Boy here tells us that we need to gather the 4 flasks of Rose. Like, bitch, don't tell me what to do.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Don't tell me what to do.
So off we go to get the second flask, but because we wanted to and not because he told us to. Our Johto journey leads us to Lady Beneviento. Oh, that's a spicy meatball. I don't know why I'm so racist. Or I like to call it the doll lady's house. But it's odd because I actually found a tombstone saying that she died at the age of 9.
That sure is a mystery. Yeah, it sounds super hard.
We walk into the house and it's empty, like eerily quiet empty. We make our way to the elevator to go down. And it's still just as quiet as upstairs. I swear to God, there is no sound in this house. It's like we're in a vacuum or something. It's really weird. We get into a room that has this doll and I don't know, this looks kind of familiar. So I shoot her and the lights go out. And then she whispers sweet little nothings into my ear.
I've been waiting for so long. I'd make a much better daughter than Rose. Please, won't you stay with me forever?
What?
And then the lights come on and I lost all of my inventory. I'm out here just as naked as this mannequin on this table. I start pulling the mannequin apart and it turns out that it's supposed to be Mia, I guess. This is basically just one big ass puzzle, so I'm gonna kind of speed through this part too. We find a wind-up key and a ring, and then we find the code to the door on the ring. We use the wind-up key on this music box, get some tweezers, use the tweezers to get film out of Miakin's mouth.
Nailed it.
Use the film in a certain order to start this film, which I honestly give 0 out of 5 stars, man. It's terrible. We find scissors, use the scissors on Miakin, and then get this part to another door. We use the part on the door, and then we go into a cave that leads into a well. Jump into the well, grab a breaker key, and then a baby starts crying. Shut up, baby. We leave the well like the ring girl and then we go back to the elevator. We see blood on the floor and this is where things get good. It's a giant, toothless ass baby. I give it the loop-de-loop and we get to the fuse box, open it up, and why is this thing in here? I don't know, but we end up grabbing it and then we put it in this door, go down to this bedroom and grab the fuse. I'm not too sure why the fuse is in this room specifically, but you know, whatever. We got bigger problems because on our way back to the elevator... No, baby. So we run back to the room and hide under the bed.
I could be anywhere. I'm like the wind, baby. Yeah. Where am I?
Then we haul ass out of there, man. I am not waiting. It's almost as if we have milk or, you know, cigarettes to go get. We are not coming back for this child. This is not our baby. We run back to the fuse box, put the fuse in, and then call the elevator down and then deal with this. And we successfully get away.
Who's the baby now?
But I just realized I didn't even gain anything from doing all this. It was literally just for the scare factor because I got nothing of value down here. No flask, no cool weapons, no high five, nothing. So back in the main house, we run into Beneviento and the doll. And this doll makes us play a game of hide and seek. She hides, me seeks. The kicker is if we take too long to find her, we get stabbed by her seizure dolls. I find her once and then stab her in the head. She laughs and then runs or floats away. We need to find her a total of 3 times. I take a tad bit too long on the second find, and I get slashed by the Chuckies out here, but I end up finding her eventually, so I stab her again. And now we need to find her one last time. And like the last round, I take too fucking long because if you watched my Resident Evil 7 DLC video, I can literally be locked in a small room with the body and completely miss the body sitting in plain sight. So I get slashed again by the Annabelles here, but I find her one last time. Thank God, because the game over screen was about to kick in.
Stupid idiot!
Whoa! James, what the fuck, man? Chill out.
We stab her for the 3rd and final time and she transforms into her human form, which I don't understand. It's almost like we were possessed and seen shit and then we stabbed the doll, but in reality, oopsies, we just murdered someone with a pair of scissors. The body disintegrates and we grab the key that she drops, combine it with our current key, then we grab the flask and then we grab the Angie doll for a keepsake. And then I call an audible and I try to go back down the elevator to go fight the baby because now I got all my guns back. So let's see how that little shit likes me when I'm blowing my load down its giant throat.
What?
But the game for some reason locked all the doors that go to the elevator. So I guess I can't commit baby murder, which I swear to God is like the one line that Resident Evil will not cross for some reason. So we leave the house all disappointed, but I find a ball, so we know what that means.
Yeah, success.
We go back to the main area where Duke is and we use our key on another door, which leads to the area where we first got swarmed by werewolves at the beginning. And what is this thing now, dude?
I'm so happy because I'm a gummy bear, gummy bear.
Oh, you fucked with the wrong one, my guy. We kill the evolved werewolf and then we continue on to the fish monster Moreau's territory, which once again, as always with Resident Evil games, is in some type of underground mining cave area. And you all know I love these areas. But we eventually get to Moreau and we see him staring at what might be the best channel out there. So we grab the flask while he's not paying attention, but you know, this actually gets his attention, and then he's like, oh, please don't take that. And we're like, nah, dude, we are taking that. And then he starts to laugh, and now I kind of don't want to take that. He fucking has the audacity to say that we're stupid. Like, bitch, we're not the ones watching static. Then he says that we're in his domain.
Domain expansion. Swamp of Serenity.
But we eventually escape by finding a boat key and driving to another cave. We enter another shack where we get jumped by a person. We pull an Uno reverse card only to get re-reversed, and then Chris is just sitting there chilling. He's like, yo, stay out of my business. And then the fish monster interrupts this reunion, but let me address Chris here because we were out of your business, but you kind of killed Mia. With excessive force, I might add. And then you took our child, so now you kind of made it our business. Did you just think that we'd be okay with all of this? Oh yeah, you know, Chris just murdered our wife and took our child, you know, just Chris things. But anyways, then Moreau pops up and shows us why he wears a hoodie, and then he says this.
What are you talking about?
I don't even know what he's saying either, Ethan, so I am no help here. Let me see if the YouTube audience can figure out what the fuck he's saying. He throws up and then jumps back into the water. We then get the great idea to open the dam to drain the lake that Moreau is in. But of course, this is Resident Evil once again, so it can't be that easy. I thought we could just, you know, flip a switch and call it a day, but nope. We need to turn on the power first, but once again, it's Resident Evil, so they make it as complicated as possible. We have to traverse across the lake with Moreau trying to eat us whenever we cross a bridge. Then we get to this part where we have to pull levers to raise these platforms up to cross to the next area where I try to throw a pipe bomb into the water to kill Moreau, because I really don't think a fishing rod is going to work here.
You think you could aim for this one guy, Mikolai? When would his name come up? Usually people ask names in polite conversation. I don't even know your name. Yeah, maybe work on that. Can you at least tell me what he looks like? Kind of like a young Brendan Fraser.
There you are. I need my floral ascot, Henry. I'm going to a brunch.
Yeah. Let me just go grab him. Now, get him.
What?
Hook him.
That's him?
Get him now.
Do it, big boy.
Huh? Oh no, he's into it.
Use those nice forearms.
Really not seeing a resemblance to Brendan Fraser. I've limited pop culture knowledge as a SEAL.
Kind of rude you haven't asked my name yet.
Nah. Spoiler, my pipe bomb did not work. We get into a lighthouse looking building, climb to the top, grab a crank because, as always, Resident Evil sure loves their cranks. We shaka bra down again, which, you know, one shaka bra is already weird enough.
Shaka bra!
Kind of weird that we got two shaka bras in this game, but we go down to the main area where the dam controls are. We use the crank at the other windmill lighthouse looking building, and I guess this turns on the power. Thank God this is a poorly explained because I don't know what the fuck I'm saying right now. We open the gates, drain the water, and then jump into the area where Moreau was.
Fish out of water!
Shooting him exposes the body that's in his mouth. It's kind of like Irving in Resident Evil 5 if you remember. But this guy has a pretty nifty move where he gets on a roof and starts making it rain acid. I don't know why, but I think this is actually really cool. It's kind of unique. I don't know. I really like it. This dude's heartburn must suck.
Name's Reflux. Medical condition or superpower, you decide.
I eventually kill him, grab his crystal, go to his shed, and then find the key. We combine it with my key, and then we get a message from Heisenberg on this TV. And for the younger generation, this is an older TV, right? We got the bunny ears and everything, but what's odd is that we're able to have a back and forth conversation with this TV. This TV. It doesn't even have built-in Wi-Fi, no streaming services, nothing. So I don't know how we're able to talk to Heisenberg through this 80s style TV, but he basically says that we can help each other out. Not too sure what he means, but then he tells us to go and grab his flask and gives us directions to find it. We leave the caves and find a marble, so... We make our way to the main area of the game, and Heisenberg graciously left these signs here of where to go. I, being a man, elect to ignore these signs, and I go fight this evolved werewolf mini-boss instead. It's kind of like the last one that we fought before we got to Moreau, but this one is like the head honcho of its kind. So I show him who's really top of the food chain, and then I go down a hidden path where we find this building. I go inside, and there's another secret enemy that we have not yet encountered. He kind of looks like the butcher of this village. I mean, he's tall, he's fat, fast, he's strong, he's just overall a savage. But since I'm kind of cracked out with the weapons that I got, we handle him pretty easily. So we get his crystal, and since I never mentioned this, the crystals that I grab when enemies drop, or the ones that I get after my little marble games, we just take to the Duke to sell for a high price. That way we could upgrade weapons and do all that good shit. We go up the path and run into the castle of werewolves, so we kill like, I don't know, at least 3, I think.
Certified lover boy, certified pedophiles. God, fucking move. I'ma do my stuff.
We open the gates.
This must be their den.
Aw, great, here we go. Thanks for that info, Ethan. We kill maybe like 4 more here, man. I don't know, I can't count past 3.
Hey, can you guys hear anything? You know what I hear? I hear the sound of you shutting the fuck up. Let's see. 7? What the fuck are you talking about?
God, fucking move. I'ma do my stuff.
We go further into the den and we see how they feed, which looks stupid complicated. And then we run into Hagrid, who really milks his introduction. But I'm not gonna sit there and wait for him to power up, man. This isn't Dragon Ball Z, bitch.
17? Why did you have to do that?
They had left themselves wide open. Is there a problem?
He jumps down, starts swinging his hammer, but I put so much damage into him during his entrance that he doesn't really last long here, and we kill him. We find the last flask, and then we get to a vision of what looks like Miranda at the crash site, and then Heisenberg calls us again through a TV. Once again, this is really weird. I feel like I can't just gloss over this for some reason, like I need to point this out, which is crazy in its own right because, out of all the things that we've ran into so far, like a giant vampire lady that turns into a dragon, a giant toothless baby trying to swallow us whole, or Mia somehow still being alive after taking 30 shots, I'm like, whatever to all of that. But having a conversation through this old TV, no dude, that, I swear to God, that is where I draw the line. That is just not realistic. But anyways, Heisenberg says to put the flasks in the altar. So we do just that one at a time, which, now I'm kind of wondering if I could have done this throughout the game instead of all at once. But we then get a giant chalice. We get a little red carpet treatment, nice. Put the giant chalice on the umbrella logo that, we saw like 30 years ago or whenever we killed Dimitrescu. And that raises a bridge and... we get to Heisenberg's lair, which looks a lot like my dad's garage. I almost had to call him like, yo dad, why is your hoarders of a garage in this game right now? But we get to this room and pull back this curtain, and this dude has like a crazy conspiracy wall, and then he shows up behind us. He starts to monologue, but then gets interrupted by something below us that sounds a lot like a lawnmower starting up.
Vroom, vroom.
Shut your fucking hole!
He tells us to sit down and then says that he doesn't want to be under Miranda's control anymore, and that Rose is crazy powerful and that Miranda is afraid of Rose already for some reason. She's just a baby. The lawnmower interrupts him again and he tells it to shut up a second time.
Oh, daddy.
Last time, you freak, I swear to God!
Then Heisenberg asks us if we want to team up and use Rose to end Miranda. Ethan is all like, nah, fuck you, my daughter isn't a weapon. I'm like, yo, can we just kind of like exclude Rose, but still team up? I don't get what Rose is supposed to do. She's a bebe, she can't control her powers. So, what do I do with Rose? Just throw her at Miranda? But yeah, Heisenberg doesn't like this answer and he drops us into the pit below. We quickly find out what was making that sound and we have no choice but to run. We jump down a trash chute and then come out the other end unscathed. Climb up to see that this is like one giant underground human experimenting factory. So off in the distance, I shoot down some bodies to lessen the army. And we, as always with these games, we need to turn on the power. I swear to God, it's like they just shut the power off everywhere I go. We get to a room that has a molding press thing here, and I'm bringing this up now because it's very important for later. But we leave for now, and gee, this is some massive foreshadowing. I don't expect this to come alive at all. But we find our first mold case, which sure as shit wakes up the man in the chair. But I'm feeling some type of way with this sniper today, so I shoot his weak spots before he could touch me and we kill him. We go fill the mold, and this makes a weird ass square key that we put into the wall next to us, and voila, there's a door here. We go through and end up up in the power generator room, but of course, a cog is missing because this is Resident Evil, and as I said before, nothing is straightforward in this game. So we go and look around and we find the cog mold, and then we go and get that one filled, shoot this guy in the titty, grab the cog, and then start up the generator, turning on the power. So now we're just walking around, and Jesus voice Heisenberg says that he is a slave to Miranda.
Day is never finished. Master got me working. Someday Master set me free.
And then says that he wants to be free.
I want to break free.
But he says that he needs more power to kill her, and I'm not talking electricity this time. We go and turn on the power to lower this platform and then run into a similar version of the exposed nipple enemy, but instead of one drill arm, he has 2 drill arms.
1 copper piece. Okay, 2 copper pieces.
Kill him, continue on until we have another chase sequence with this propeller thing, and I'm not even too sure how this thing is alive. But we evade him and then watch some zombies just, hard at work. Some real blue-collar zombies, I'll tell you that much.
Day is never finished. Master got me working. Someday Master set me free.
But then we run into more armored enemies. And for some reason, Heisenberg has just put all of these guys' weaknesses right in their titty.
You gonna titty fuck us?
If you want me to titty fuck you, I will. So good. Oh, you love it.
So I shoot just, right there in the chest, just square in the chest. I kill them all and then we move on and I find a ball mold, yes. I create a key because I also found a key mold at some point in time. I don't really know. Who cares about that? Because I go to make the ball with the ball mold, so you know what that means.
They see me rolling. They hate it.
And now we have finally beat all of the marble games, so I bet you're all asking,
what do we do now? What do you mean? Now we can finally play the game.
And I play the game until it's a boss fight with the propeller thing. I put a good amount of damage into this thing, and then it just catches on fire. And normally I'm thinking, shit, now it's on fire, that's a problem. But I'm also thinking that it's probably almost dead and that the fire just, doesn't really do anything. It just kind of looks more intense. Until he kicks his propeller into overdrive and turns into a walking flamethrower. I noticed that Ethan likes to block the fire with his hands instead of moving to the side like I want him to do. So I pause to heal up and then unpause and get trampled. So yeah, okay, that was kind of my bad, Ethan. So, sorry. Some would say I'm just a girl. We eventually kill this thing and get to a lift. We go up, run into Heisenberg again. He does one of the weirder transformations and then knocks us off of a ledge. We somehow live, and then we started from the bottom, and now, we're back at the bottom. This time though, we run into Chris. And long story short, he tells us that Miranda actually took the form of Mia, which one makes Ethan a terrible husband since he didn't even catch on to the personality switch between Mia and Miranda, which even I kind of caught on to. And I don't pay attention to this type of shit, which is why these poorly explained videos are pretty entertaining, am I right? And 2, it makes sense. I mean, did you see how many times Mia got shot? I swear I've showed it like 6 times in this video alone. The woman took a whole fucking clip and still had the audacity to survive. And then, 5 more shots to the head. Ethan is pissed that Chris didn't tell him sooner, and Chris says that Miranda is a bioweapon and that everything here is a product of her. Chris throws Ethan his phone, I don't know why I said that so intensely, and shows Ethan pics that Miranda is nearby with Rose. And Ethan is all like,
and when I find Miranda, she's a dead woman.
Okay, Ethan, sure, yeah, you go get her, champ. I mean, hunk-ass military Secret Service Chris here couldn't kill her, but yeah, husband of the year over here is gonna go get her. Let's all believe that for a second. The only one that I have faith in is Leon, and he's not even in this game. We get into this weird Transformers thing and then take the elevator up.
Whoa, could have died.
And then we have a giant Transformers fight with Heisenberg. He calls us a cockroach. but this fight honestly isn't that bad. I just keep my distance and shoot at the glaring red bright spots on him. The dude does not hide his weak points very well for a guy that could control metal. Just put a plate over it, my guy, come on. Eventually, he creates a whirlwind that destroys our vehicle and then almost turns us into a girl like an Outlast. I use my trusty sniper to shoot what I think is his face, but I don't know, I still keep my distance, so you know, that's a good thing. He creates another whirlwind where we somehow, some way land in our old vehicle, which honestly kind of reminds me of the Evil Within. But we hit him with the missile and then Heisenberg blows up, ending the boss fight once and for all. We then get a call from Chris and we tell him that we are going to go find Miranda, but Miranda finds us. And remember when Ethan was all like,
"And when I find Miranda, she's a dead woman."
Well, pull the trigger, homie. Any day now, Miranda is just standing here. Hello. I guess we're just gonna let Miranda monologue. So, you know, she says that Rose will be reborn as her child. And I knew I could not trust that old lady. I told you guys. You guys probably all thought that I was just some elderly abuser, but no. Look at me, being right. Old dumbass riddle spitting, cane holding old witch from Snow White looking at... Wait. Oh my god, dude, she does actually look like the old witch from Snow White. How did I not see this earlier? No wonder why I did not trust her. My subconscious just fucking took over. But anyways, then Miranda literally puts her hand through our chest. And damn, she's looking kind of fine though. Until that is, she rips out our heart and then bathes in our blood and then just leaves. Love, am I right? We cut to Chris looking at old pictures on his phone going down memory lane. Like, oh god, what great times I had. Basically sums up what happened in like 30 seconds when it takes me like 30 minutes. Shit, maybe Chris should be doing this, not me. And I did not know that Chris smoked. He then says that he's been trying to take care of this Miranda situation for 3 years now, gets out of his car and then sees helicopters above. I guess the helicopters are with the BSAA, you know, the organization that Chris and Sheva were a part of in Resident Evil 5. So if you couldn't tell, we're Chris now. And I'm not really a fan of switching protagonists late game, kind of like in Resident Evil Code Veronica. If you've seen my 2025 recap video, you know that I hate this shit. So our main objective now is to get to Miranda. We see the BSAA dropping off guys in the middle of the village, and it may not seem very important, but it is for later, so just remember this. And then we go down to said village, and then we go through what I think is like 4 werewolves, until we get to this fort looking thing, and then we lock in on it to summon a nuke or missiles or something, I don't know. We do that 3 times to blow a hole in the ground. We jump down the hole, hear from a teammate that the mold originated from here and not with the Bakers in 7. We have a boss fight with a tougher looking Hagrid, call in the missiles to kill this thing because I guess there's a hole directly above us somehow. Keep in mind, we did jump down a hole, but we progressed forward. So, you know, you would think that this cave system is like every other cave system in any other Resident Evil game. There is no holes just randomly above us. But nope, this one has a hole conveniently placed above this boss fight. So we kill the upgraded Hagrid, and then Chris finds the Mega Mind Seed.
I've located the Mega Mind Seed.
Mega Mind Seed? Mega Mind Seed? I don't really know how to pronounce this thing. It's basically the core of the mold, and it kind of looks like a fetus. Chris attaches a bomb to a knife, throws the knife, and great fucking throw, my guy, damn. So we keep going to find Miranda, right? But then our teammate buzzes in saying that he has sights on Miranda at the ceremony site. He then tells Chris that he should have told Ethan the plan. Chris, you know, has excuses, but the teammate is all like, nah, fuck that jazz, you should have told him. We enter Miranda's lab, and I kind of try to do what Ada did in 4 and just destroy everything, but I don't think it works. We find Mia in a jail cell, confirm that Miranda is still at the ceremony site, meaning that this is actually the real Mia. She's been used for experiments apparently. So Mia yells at Chris because they did everything that Chris said, and Chris was supposed to protect them, and I mean, he's doing a fantastic job. Chris tells Mia that Ethan is dead and that they have to get out of there. Mia says that Chris is wrong and that he doesn't know how special Ethan is. And damn, I really hope that my future wife hypes me up like that shit. And then we cut to Ethan waking up and his hands are intact, thank God. I swear to God, this man has lost his left hand like 2 times, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's kind of weird it happened twice. We hear laughing and we walk towards it. And I don't know, this whole area is kind of giving me Limbo vibes right now.
Certainly want to thank you for all your patience. We know that you are eager to get going, and we will certainly pass on any information as it becomes more available.
And we find out that the laughing is coming from Evelyn. Remember the little girl from the 7th game? Yeah, her. She says that we're dead, and I don't really know, listen to this, it blows my mind.
Miranda didn't kill you. You mean you didn't think it was weird? No matter how much you got hurt? Remember. "3 years ago, the Baker house. You were murdered by Jack. You died there 3 years ago."
Turns out, I don't know how, but I really don't know. I think Evelyn put mold into Ethan to reanimate his body. I don't know if it was Evelyn or something else, but the mold part is true because Ethan's hand is starting to look kind of moldy. And I'm not too sure how mold man Ethan here can produce a baby.
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
But that's besides the point. It also makes sense why Lady Dimitrescu said that our blood was tasting stale. It's all connecting here, man. Yeah, Ethan is actually dead. But we wake up inside of the Duke's carriage alive, and then we ask to go and see Miranda, and the Duke is all like, "Bro, I am way ahead of you. We're already here." We ask who exactly the Duke is, and he's all like, "Hello, I know," and then says that we can't go back to our normal life, and then asks if we're ready. Ethan is all like, "Yeah, bro, we stay ready, so we ain't gotta get ready." And then we head out to go and confront Miranda. We just follow the path, squeeze through 2 tree trunk sized mold, and then we see Miranda bringing Rose to life. But Miranda calls her Eva, so I'm guessing that's short for Evelyn. So I'm not too sure if Miranda created Evelyn or if Evelyn was her daughter who maybe had passed away. Is she trying to bring her daughter Evelyn back to life? I don't really know, but then Miranda says that her power is leaving her. Ethan is all like, "Where is she?" Miranda catches on that we aren't normal because, you know, she just ripped out our heart. But then she starts to fucking monologue, and mid-monologue she gets fucking headshotted by Chris like an homage to Leon and 4. Let's go! This creates an opening, so we grab Rose. Miranda grabs us and then says that she's going to kill us. She grabs Rose and then does this.
Rose is mine! What the fuck?
She hits me 3 times and kills me. What the fuck?
It is over between us, Kate. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody!
So I respawn, skip the monologue, and this time I strafe and block while shooting her with the shotgun. She enters a spider phase, so I switch to the sniper and I shoot her a few times, causing her to somehow sprout wings and go airborne. I shoot her some more and then the lights turn off. And it may look scary, but this part honestly isn't really that bad. I just follow her voice because the bitch won't shut up, and then when she spawns in, I just step to the side and shoot her. When she's finally had enough, we're back to the normal battlefield, and then she starts spitting out lava or something out of Gears of War, so I hide behind a tree. I wait for a bit, and then she goes back to her spider form. I shoot her some more with the sniper, and then she goes airborne again. I shoot her enough until the cutscene starts. She grabs us by the feet and then starts summoning a spirit bomb. No! So we shoot at that and we have successfully pulled a Jiren and stopped the spirit bomb. But instead of going Ultra Instinct, she's all like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna start swinging." And we can't move or anything, so I just start shooting until she's had enough and the cutscene finally hits. She cries out for her daughter Eva again like, and then she finally dies, leaving Rose in her literal remains. We grab Rose and see that we are actually decaying as well. We drop to our knees and Chris comes up trying to give us the godliest of pep talks, but you know, we both know we're not gonna make it here, Chris, come on. Chris helps Ethan up, and I don't know how Ethan isn't dropping his baby, but Chris tells Ethan that Mia is alive. Ethan says his goodbye message to Mia, gives Chris Rose, and then gives Rose his jacket. He pushes Chris while Mold separates the two, and Chris is all like, "I don't want your baby, the fuck?" Nah, just kidding. He's telling Ethan that he can still make it. But Ethan says one last goodbye to Rose, showing that he snatched the detonator from Chris. Chris runs away and Ethan walks back to the Mega Mind Seed, or whatever the nucleus is called, presses the button, and then we cut to Mia in the chopper. Chris
Get to the chopper!
Gets to the chopper, and we start leaving. Mia doesn't want to go without Ethan, and Chris is all like,
"She's dead! Gone forever! Died all painful death.
And then,
and boom goes the dynamite.
Mia is all like, where's Ethan? And Chris is all like, down there, my bad. And then tells Mia that Ethan sacrificed himself.
I tried. He stayed so we could all escape. I'm sorry.
It's a whole sad, touching little moment, man. Honestly, it was pretty touching. But then Chris's teammate interrupts to tell Chris that the BSAA did not send soldiers down to the village. Remember what I said earlier? They sent bioweapons, and yeah, I mean, that looks like a damn zombie to me, shit. So Chris is all like, hey, we're gonna go to the BSAA Europe headquarters. Because what the fuck, dude, did we not learn from Umbrella? Or is this before Umbrella? I really don't know the timeline here. This isn't a Resident Evil timeline video. But remember, the BSAA Europe headquarters are the ones that also sent Chris and Jill to capture Umbrella's founder in Resident Evil 5. Conspiracy! And then we get a title card. The game cuts back to the book from the beginning, so you know, the bat, the weaver, the fish, and the horse parts happen, but then they expand on the ending, giving us the ending where the daughter was trapped in the mirror by the witch. So the dad fights the witch, dying in the process, and the mom pulled the daughter out of the mirror and escaped. But they didn't talk about Uncle Chris here putting in some damn work. The credits roll, but that's not the end. We see an adult Rose riding the bus to go visit her dad's grave, wearing Ethan's jacket and all. It's actually very sad, man. I kind of wanted to tear up just watching this. Then a CIA agent honks. He calls Rose Evelyn, and Rose literally goes, "Fuck did you just call me?" And the agent is all like, "It's just a joke, it's just a joke." Terrible fucking joke. What the fuck was that even for? What were you thinking? The CIA agent gets a call in his earpiece asking if he wants them to take the shot. He's all like, "No, she's just a kid." Rose is mad at her lapse in judgment, and then they drive off. But pause here, because look in the distance. There is nothing there before, right? But then it looks like a person just appears on the right hand side here. I'm not too sure who that is, and we don't get any hint or clue about it. All we get is a black screen and the game is officially over. And as always, I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. The support is always appreciated. It really doesn't go unnoticed. I even try to respond to every comment, or at least react to them. So be sure to comment if you guys enjoyed the video, because it really does help motivate me to make more of these, since these videos aren't really getting as many views as I would like. And not to sound cheesy or anything, but you guys showing support really does keep the fire going. And I'm talking about me personally being motivated. I'm not even talking about YouTube algorithms or trying to climb up the YouTube ladder. This is just for me, like for me personally. So be sure to check out my other poorly explained videos, and I will see you guys next time.